The sun was dipping behind the jagged ridge of Crimson Valley when Caleb Monroe, a quiet but respected horse trader, rode into Hawthorne Ridge, a dusty frontier town where secrets lingered longer than the smoke from a cowboy's revolver. Caleb wasn't a man who spoke much, but when he did, people listened. He carried himself with a stillness that made the world seem louder around him. He had come to Hawthorne Ridge for one reason: to find a bride. But not just any bride. Caleb believed that love wasn't about beauty, charm, or social standing, it was about character, loyalty, and a good heart. He wanted someone who'd stand beside him in storms, not just dance with him in sunshine. That's how he crossed paths with the Holloway sisters. The sisters. Abigail Holloway, the town's beauty. Golden hair, perfect smile, adored by men and envied by women. Everyone expected Caleb to choose her. Mara Holloway, the one everyone despised. Quiet, scarred, withdrawn. Rumors followed her like shadows. People whispered she was cursed, unlucky, and cold-hearted. What they didn't know was that Mara wasn't cold, she was broken. And Caleb saw it. The meeting. Caleb first ran into them at the town's weekly trading market. Abigail greeted him with honey-sweet words, leaning close, laughing at everything he said, even when he wasn't trying to be funny. Mara stood behind her sister, clutching a small basket, her eyes lowered, her hair hiding half her face. She looked like she was trying to disappear. Caleb nodded politely to Abigail, but his eyes drifted toward Mara. Something about her stillness, her quiet strength, pulled him in. When their eyes met, just for a second, Caleb felt something that made him forget the noise around him. But she quickly looked away. The choice everyone expected. Word spread fast that Caleb was looking for a wife. The whole town buzzed, insisting Abigail was the smart choice. Even the Holloway parents pushed her forward. Abigail believed it too. She strutted around, telling everyone she would soon be married to the wealthiest horse trader in the region. Meanwhile, Mara kept her distance. She had learned long ago that hope was a dangerous thing for someone like her. The night of the dance. At the town barn dance, Abigail wore a bright red dress, twirling around like a flame in the dark. Men lined up to dance with her. Caleb didn't ask her. Instead, he walked straight toward Mara, who sat alone near the edge of the barn, pretending to be invisible. "Miss Holloway," he said quietly, extending his hand, "may I have this dance?" The entire barn froze. Abigail's jaw dropped. Mara looked terrified. "No, I don't think. No one dances with me," she whispered. "I do," Caleb said simply. He didn't wait for applause, didn't care who stared. He took her hand, gently, and pulled her into the center of the floor. It wasn't a graceful dance. Mara was stiff, nervous, and trembling. But Caleb didn't mind. He smiled at her. A real smile. The kind she'd never received before. And for the first time in years, Mara smiled back. Abigail's anger. After the dance, Abigail cornered Caleb outside. "You're choosing her," she exclaimed. "Mara. She's plain. She's quiet. She's nothing. You deserve better." Caleb's voice was steady. "I'm not looking for better. I'm looking for real. And Mara, she's real." Abigail stormed away, furious, humiliated. A truth revealed. But the town's cruelty toward Mara had a reason. Years ago, she'd jumped into the river to save a child during a flood. She rescued him, but the strong current threw her against a rock, leaving a deep scar across her cheek. People started calling her cursed, bad luck, unwanted. Her parents, embarrassed, favored Abigail. Mara became a shadow in her own home. But Caleb saw the scar, and instead of turning away, he was drawn to it. It told a story of courage, sacrifice, and pain no one appreciated. The day of choosing. A week later, Caleb arrived at the Holloway Ranch. The parents expected him to ask for Abigail's hand. But Caleb walked past her, past everyone, and stopped before Mara. "Mara Holloway," he said softly, "would you allow me the honor of courting you? Not for beauty, not for reputation, but because your heart is the strongest I've ever seen." Mara froze, her breath shaking. She had never been chosen for anything good in her life. "You want me?" she whispered. "Yes," he answered. "Only you." Tears filled her eyes. Abigail screamed. Her parents gasped. The whole town whispered. But Mara's answer was quiet and brave. "Yes, Caleb, I'll go with you." The journey to redemption. Life with Caleb wasn't always easy. His ranch was old, his cabin weather-beaten, and the land stubborn. But for the first time, Mara felt safe. She planted flowers by the porch. She cooked meals without fear of being mocked. She learned to laugh again. Caleb never rushed her, never demanded more than she could give. He didn't treat her like damaged goods, he treated her like someone precious. Little by little, Mara blossomed. And the town, slowly, began to see what Caleb saw. Abigail returns. Months later, Abigail appeared at their ranch. Her beauty hadn't opened the doors she expected. Men chased her looks, not her heart. She broke down in front of Mara. "I never understood why he chose you," Abigail whispered. "But now, I see it. You're stronger than me, kinder than me. You always were." For the first time, Abigail hugged her sister. And Mara forgave her. The ending. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Mara sat beside Caleb on the porch. The breeze was warm, and the world felt peaceful. "Why me?" she asked softly. Caleb looked at her, brushing a strand of hair from her scar. "Because you're the only woman in this world who makes me feel home." Mara leaned against his shoulder, finally believing she deserved love. And in the quiet heart of the Wild West, the woman everyone despised became the one most cherished.